Welcome to Monday's Mindful Community Collective Meditation. We're thrilled that you're a part of our mindfulness community. Please share this meditation with others in your life so that this community continues to grow. A guided meditation on observing thoughts by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Let's take a few moments to settle in to feeling the body as a whole, just sitting and breathing, or lying down and breathing. Riding the waves of the breath, moment by moment, just resting in awareness. An awareness that features the entirety of the bodyscape and the breathscape as they express themselves moment by moment. Just life unfolding here and now in the body in awareness. When you're ready, if you care to, letting go of the breath and the body as a whole, allowing them to recede into the background or rest in the wings. Still very much present, but less featured while we invite the whole domain of thoughts and feelings and mood states to be center stage in the field of awareness. For a time, attending to the stream of thought rather than being carried away by the content or emotional charge of individual thoughts. For a time, attending to the stream of thought rather than being carried away by the content or emotional charge of individual thoughts. Instead, resting comfortably on the bank of the thoughts, like the river or the thought stream itself, allowing individual thoughts, if and when they arise, to be seen, felt, recognized, and known as thoughts, as events in the field of awareness. Just recognizing them as mental events, occurrences, secretions of the thinking mind, independent of their content and their emotional charge, even as that content and emotional charge are also seen and known. Seeing any and all of these fleeting thoughts as bubbles, eddies, and currents within the stream, rather than as facts or as the truth of things, whatever the content, whatever the emotional charge, whatever their urgency or their tendency to reappear, whether they are pleasant or seductive, unpleasant or repulsive, or neutral and therefore harder to detect at all. Expanding the metaphor, seeing any and all of these evanescent thought events more like clouds in the sky, or bubbles coming off the bottom of a pot of boiling water, or like writing on water, arising in a moment, lingering for the briefest of instances, and dissolving back into the formlessness from whence they came. Relating to their content as if it were of equal importance and relevance to, say, what you had for dinner 3 nights ago. Even if a thought is particularly compelling and insightful, especially if it is particularly compelling and insightful. For now, just letting any and all thoughts come and go. Just let sounds come and go, or sensations come and go. Not preferring some to others, nor pursuing some over others, not pursuing anything. just resting in an awareness of thinking itself and the spaces between thoughts. Moment by moment, breath by breath, as we sit here or as we lie here. It might be helpful to be especially sensitive to the steady stream of commentary and advice you may be giving yourself as you sit here, and recognizing it as such, as scaffolding, as running commentary, taking a position in relationship to it that resembles turning down the sound on a television set, so that you're just watching the game and aren't being sucked into the endless stream of commentary and interpretation and opinion that is so characteristic of televised sports events. Rather, you now detect the individual secretions of commentary on your moment to moment experience merely as more thinking as thoughts, as judgments, and rest in the recognizing of them in the economists attending to each event as it arises in the stream without being pulled into the past or into the future or into opinions or fears or desires, simply seeing them and knowing them as thoughts and as emotions and as mental events, not as the truth and not as you watching them proliferate endlessly as they do, watching the mind secrete them and throw them off. Watching how easily thoughts manufacture or fabricate views, opinions, ideas, beliefs, plans, memories, stories, and how easily they proliferate. If we feed them the one thought morphing into the next, then into the next, until we suddenly realize that we've been carried downstream and are no longer aware of the stream itself. The process of thinking and how in the noticing we are already back in the frame of attending to thinking. Thinking to thoughts, thoughts observing them, recognizing them, perhaps being carried away again. And if so, over and over again, coming back to this moment, to this frame in this moment, to the field of thought itself, beyond all the content of the endless thinking and proliferating and fabricating and the emotions that accompany them, springing from whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and from what's going on in your life in this moment. Allowing all of this to be held to bear attention and awareness, moment on breath by breath, as we sit here and live here, resting in the awareness itself, taking up residence in awareness itself in the knowing of thoughts and feelings, as feelings in the acceptance of thoughts and feelings, whatever their content, whatever their emotional charge, just an experiment in cultivating greater intimacy with your own interiority, with what's on your mind and in your heart, and with new dimensions of the possible. If we learn to observe carefully and rather than identifying with the content of thoughts and feelings, to see them more impersonally as weather patterns, as ripples and waves on the surface of the vast and deep ocean of the mind. Bigger than any feeling, however powerful that is, capable of making use of thought and emotion without being caught and imprisoned by unwise and unexamined habit patterns developed over a lifetime of ignoring these aspects of the mindscape, of the landscape, of our own being, of our lives unfolding. So, for the remainder of our time together, resting in awareness of the arising and passing away of thoughts and feelings in the mindscape, some overwhelmingly obvious, some quite subtle, some masquerading as commentary, others as scaffolding, others as neither, and simply returning over and over again to the frame whenever the mind is carried off, not looking for thoughts or emotions or mood indicators, just resting in awareness, just letting the thoughts arise on their own in the field of awareness to whatever degree they do, and letting them go moment by moment and breath by breath as you sit here or as you live your life.
Thank you for joining us. We hope this meditation brings you peace and calm.